Good morning. This will be my documentary of my industry placement. So for the industry placement, I work at the Citadines Walker Sydney as a guest service officer. Um, and my placement start on the 14th of April, which has been already 5 months since I started working here. And so far it has been amazing. This role allowed me to build very good practical skill and interact with daily guests, take on responsibility that's support both guest satisfaction and hotel performance. And yeah, I learned a lot during placement here. So I would name the three most important skill that I learned during the placement. I'll be focusing on these three skill. First is I think is multitasking, because in hotel you never do just one thing at a time. That's what I took away here. The second skill is problem solving, creative problem solving. This is mainly for guests. And I think because in hotel industry, things don't always go ahead of plan. So this is an important skill as well. Third one is upselling, strategic upselling and room allocation. This is very technical and a very good skill to learn to improve the hotel revenue. All right, so I will talk about each skill one by one. My multitasking skill by learning to prioritize each different task and stay calm under pressure. My manager and supervisor gave me some great advice during the replacement so I can know which to prioritize sometimes. For example, if the guest is physically at the counter right in front of your face, right in front of you, then you should stop other work and help the system first. Or when a guest or when a guest and a phone call ring at the same time, try to take the phone and then tell them that you'll come back with the phone and then assist the guest in front of you first. And then later on you can return to the call or have another team member picking up the phone later. Also, if where there's a VIP, we'll need to do the preparation and prepare to take the guests first, prioritize the guests more than the other guests because they are a VIP with us. Also, I'll start writing down non-urgent tasks so I could come back to them later. Most important tasks that take action right away, I'll need to take them. So yeah, I learned a lot from supervisor and they teach me a lot about workflow, prioritizing, and using notes. So it makes a huge difference in my work quality. The second skill is solving problem in a creative way. I learned a lot just by observing what my manager and supervisor handling situation, which give me an idea of how they do it and what do they do. I also ask a lot of questions. I always sort feedback, especially if I feel like my solution could have been better. There was a time where the guests came to the reception, asked for heat up a baby milk from our microwave, staff microwave. It not supposed to do it, and I straight up denied the guest, which created a huge anger because the guest was very unhappy that we could not understand that the baby needs the milk, and we could not done it outside from our policy. So it was a very tough situation, but I felt like my solution could have been better by try to provide an extra charge for the microwave or upgrade the room so that their room has a microwave. So I think that could have been a better solution. And I always sort feedback from my manager. Yeah. So also I learned I I have to think of solution that were outside of the resources that limited in the hotel. For example, when engineer wasn't available to fix a loose shower head in the guest room, I just used some tape to secure it temporarily until it could be repaired the next day. So that helped the guests. And then, that's where a creative solutions come up. So these experience come up a lot and it taught me to adapt quickly and things outside the box to help the guests right in front of us. Third skill I learned is to have strategic upselling and learn how to do room allocation. I learned how important to choose the right moment to upsell. From my experience, there are two best periods from the time where I also upsell. First is the early morning, where the guests love an early check-in after a long flight. And also, second is when a guest celebrating a special event or any occasion, so they will love for a better experience. Mainly it's for couples or family that are going on holiday. So I also focus on what to upsell based on their needs, of course. And after knowing what they need, I will always need to check the room inventory. This is very important to make sure everything I promised were available. This helped me to over promising and keep the guest experience positive while supporting the hotel revenue goals. Some of the highlights here we have is I managed to upsell a total of $2,530 during the 5 month period of my placement. I think this I'm very like how I achieved this because it's very satisfying when I happen to convince the guest to upsell. Also, I got the top one enrollment for 3 consecutive months. So the hotel does have a membership enrollment to the whole company brand. And I really push forward for every check-in, every check-out, every guest stay with us to try to enroll them to our membership. So we can start having returning guests and start having loyal guests. I also had a chance to train new staff as a senior because most of the senior from the hotel left for visa issue, and I happened to be a senior at the hotel even though I only worked for 5 months, and I get to learn to experience the leadership role um, to train the new guests. Sorry, train the new staff. So, but of course, the placement also come with challenges as a guest service officer. One of my biggest mistake was checking in a guest into a wrong room. So, which taught me the importance of double checking guest ID and guest details. I did not check carefully the guest's full name, and that leads to checking two guests with the same last name into one room. That was very a significant mistake, and I learned not to do it again. There was also a time where I forgot guest requests during busy shift. This has come back to how I'm not managing the workflow and multitasking well. I need to take note and be focused all time. I also struggle with being consistent. Um, Someday I could be very on point and very focused, but some other day I was not feeling well. I wouldn't experience a good, healthy mind. And yeah, I did not pay enough attention to details on those other day, even though it is a small mistake, but it does in fact how my work quality show to my manager. And I do have a lot of feedback, and I always tend to find feedback from my manager. I know sometimes I make mistakes. I know that is my mistake. I do have acknowledgement, and I will always seek to my manager or supervisor to ask for feedback. Hence, I receive a lot of feedbacks from them. They give mostly about I happen to make small mistake time to time, and they remind me to take things slow. Try to double check my work and make sure everything's done correctly instead of taking shortcuts. I'm a person with um I'm a person who likes to take shortcut and make things quick. So this is a very valuable feedback. I wish I hadn't done it from the beginning, and but that is all right. I'll be more careful in the future. So ultimately, I have a goal when I work here now. I want to become a front office supervisor within the hotel. And the goal to become this will need to be more consistent, learn how to handle tough situation confidently, and manage to work to have my workflow more effectively. This could be done um, by taking care of my health, make sure I'm always mentally strong and always focused. I'll also do a self-learn of other skills relating to hotel industry outside from work for an hour a day. I also um I also want to contribute to I also want to continue developing my workflow efficiency and as well as training abilities since I'm doing supervisor. So this is must have within my goal. I will take more details to support hotel operation, revenue goals, and guest satisfaction as well. And I will try to achieve this goal within 1 year after my graduation or even sooner. Last thing, from my experience, these are some of the advice for future student who taking their replacement next year or soon in the future. Firstly, try to choose your placement wisely. Don't try to apply to many hotels and get poor quality CV or not showing good preparation for interview. I would recommend try to get into a good company which give you a right environment to learn. Take time to prepare a strong CV, resume, and will be well prepared for your interview because giving a strong first impression could set you up for a very fast um, a very fast growth on your career. So once you in, try to be more proactive and ask questions because this is how you show that um you're very committed to learn and to grow within the hotel. Stay consistent, always double check your work, even small thing. Don't take shortcut like me. Um, be very consistent so you can build your trust in the place you work. Finally, keep a positive mindset. We are all human, mistake will happen, but they are really there to learn. So if you could do it again, if I could do it again, I'll remind myself to slow down, focus on things properly from the start. That's my advice, and I leave it for future student. This is what I learned. That's all what I learned. If I were to do this again, I would do all the things that I were giving advice there. And and overall, I think I've become more confident when interacting with guests, even on difficult situation. I've learned how to stay calm, adapt quickly, and when things don't go as planned, I don't get as panicked as before. Most importantly, this experience in a hotel confirmed my passion for hospitality and made me realize that I want to take on a leadership role in the future. And it gave me a clear direction for my career, motivate me to try to become better every day. So that's it. Yes, hope you enjoy the placement review, my documentary, and hope you have a great day.